Cappadocia is an area in central Anatolia in Turkey, best known for its unique moon-like landscape, underground cities, cave churches, and houses carved in the rocks. It's very easy to get here from Istanbul with less than an hour flight, and you can fly into either Nevsehir, which is 30 kilometers away, or, as I did, into Kayseri, which is approximately 100 kilometers. Transportation is very easy with taxi or buses, but most people rent cars, motorcycles, or my favorite, ATVs. Goreme has been voted one of the most beautiful villages in the world by several travel magazines. The village is half buried into the hill. Its stone houses hide a maze of cave rooms below. This is where you will take the hot air balloon tour, which is definitely a must. With Cappadocia's unique lunar landscape and their strange rock formations, including the fairy chimneys, it can only be truly appreciated from above. I stayed at the Museum Hotel, a Relais and Chateau, the only one in Turkey. Click the link below for a tour of this amazing hotel. Since the Hittites, the traditional way of living in the region has been cave houses, so what better way of enjoying your stay than in an actual cave room, where some rooms even had red and white wine taps right in the wall. The museum is located in Nevsehir, which means highest castle. This castle is situated at the highest point in the region and was an important defense point. Over 4,000 years old, built originally by the Hittites. Many rooms are hollowed out into the rock, which are connected to each other with stairs, tunnels, and passages. At the entrances to these rooms, there are millstone doors used to control the access. Fairy chimneys next to the castle for homes and tombs. Even the animals are kept inside. Here you get amazing views of Goreme's Red and Rose Valley. Just outside of Goreme is one of Turkey's most beautiful landscapes, Pigeon Valley. Years ago, the pigeons were used to carry messages from this remote region, and their droppings have long been used by local farmers for fertilizer. Today, however, there are fewer pigeons in the valley. You should not miss a visit to Kuyu. This is the largest of the 36 underground cities in the area. It covers 4 square kilometers and was able to shelter 2,000 households on 7 floors, reaching a depth of 70 to 85 meters. Archaeologists believe that the Hittites were the starters of the underground communities, and in the 6th and 7th century they were expanded by early Christians with the addition of air shafts, kitchens, living quarters, churches, water wells, horse stables, and wine cellars. Christians used the elaborate subterranean systems as both a shelter and a safe place to worship. The lunar landscape of Cappadocia is renowned the world over for its fairy chimneys and spectacular rock formations formed through a process of erosion millions of years ago. According to folktales, the formations were called fairy chimneys because early residents believed the place was home to fairies who lived underground. The chimneys are made of 2 different types of rock. The top of the rock, a hard layer of basalt, and below that is an extremely soft rock called tufa. It can be easily carved. Communities took advantage of this to make their home in the rock pillars and under the ground. The most famous, the symbol of Cappadocia, the 3 beauties, where you can get an amazing panorama of the Cappadocian countryside. Mustafa Pasha is a Greek and Turkish village which people lived here together since the Ottoman Empire period. The small town had many elaborate houses, But in 1924, with the population exchange between Greece and Turkey, the Greeks were forced back to Greece, leaving their possessions and memories, and the Turks of Greece were forced to do the same, some not even knowing the language of the new country. During the exchange years, the town lost its former prosperity. The Triple Gate, the original entrance to the city.
Uçakla getirecek.
Pegasus.
Then this place
We
is the
found
main
an
platform.
ancient
You go
Roman
there,
bath.
There would be a platform, you can lie down. It's the place where you can do massage. It was mostly the oil massage. In Turkey,
Due to the pieces discovered here, it is believed to have housed settlements from Neo-Romans and early Byzantine periods. Here you will see the meeting hall, the room with graves, and the mosaic room. Hike the Saanla Valley. Here you will find some great cave churches. First we come to the Carabas Church, meaning dark hat. It was built in the 6th century. It has some amazing frescoes depicting scenes from the Bible. Besides the cave churches, it also consists of cabins, dining halls, and grave rooms. Here you see the Church of St. George, also called the Church of the Serpent or the Snake Church. It is named after the scene of St. George killing a serpent painted behind the entrance gate. Anywhere you go, you will find their traditional tandoori. It has survived 2,500 years and is still done the traditional way. Tandoori is the name of the hole that is dug in the middle of the house or kitchen. Since the ground here is soft rock, wood fire is used and the embers cook the food. It is also used to heat the room. Cappadocia is famous for its high quality of white wines produced with the Emir grapes. Goreme Open Air Museum is a UNESCO World Heritage Site and Cappadocia's most famous tourist attraction. Here you will find a monastery cluster of rock-cut churches and monk cells with fabulous frescoes. You will discover hidden dwellings and subterranean churches, for it was here that early Christians, escaping from persecution, lived and worshiped. Of an estimated 3,000 cave churches in the area, the most impressive are located here in the Open Air Museum. This is the dining area. You see the table and the chairs on each side. And this is the kitchen area. And here's where the tandoori was, for cooking and heating. St. Barbara's Church. She was killed by her father because she believed in Christianity. So the warriors built this church for her and decorated it themselves. This is called the dark church because it gets very little light from the windows, and for this reason the colors are still very bright. This church dates back to the end of the 12th and beginning of the 13th century. There are many frescoes from the Bible. Carved out of the same rock, you will find the Sandals Church. The 13th century Sandals Church is named for the footprints marked in the floor, representing the last imprints left by Jesus before he ascended to heaven. In 726, the worship of idols were banned, so all frescoes and idols were destroyed. During this time, painting the human figure was prohibited, so the beautiful frescoes were plastered over and a more simple art was developed, using simple Christian symbols. Here you see the two arts together. Most of the eyes are gouged out due to their fear of the evil eye. Cavusin Village. The main attraction in this tiny village of Cavusin are two lovely Byzantine churches. By the entrance in the town is the Cavusin church with a stunning interior of frescoes, while in the old village center, high up on the ridge, is the church of St. John the Baptist. This village was also affected by the population exchange of 1924. Here you can see some of the more recent lived-in homes. Here you see the original layer carved from the stone, and later the second layer was built by adding brick. The stairs are also carved out of the rock, leading to the second floor, and here is the living room. From here you get amazing views of Rose Valley and the pigeon houses carved from the stone. Passobag, or Monk's Valley, has buried chimneys unique to this area with multiple stems and caps, some housing chapels and living areas. A chapel dedicated to St. Simon and a hermit shelter is built into the fairy chimney with 3 heads. St. Simon lived in seclusion during the 5th century. Disturbed by the attention from rumors that he worked miracles, he began to live at the top of a 2-meter high column and later moved to one 15 meters in height. He descended only to get the food and drink brought by his disciples. Devrant, or Imagination Valley, is a place where you can let your mind run free in a lunar landscape with rock formations that look like animals. Love Valley is a place where visitors flock to see some erotic erosions. Well, thanks for joining me on my tour of Cappadocia, and for more